I got my new John Deere hood here. Yep, new John Deere hood. I'm going to show you the new John Deere hood. Grant was just working on it. I'm not going to show the old one just yet. But I'm going to show you the new one. I'm going to show you the reasons why I went with a brand new John Deere hood. Oh, he's under there. So what he's doing is putting a latch on, right? Is it going to be a pain in the ass? Oh, okay, so he's got to pull the handle off. You may need to warm that up, I think, maybe, or is it a... Oh, it's just a pin. Cool. All right, so here's the new hood. Doesn't come with decals. We found that out. Did not come with the bezel. Did not come with the screen. So I had bought screws years ago and left them in the tool truck, and I put those in. We put it in. Everything lined up, worked up perfectly. I really don't mind constructive criticism, but some people were telling me that I should just have this hood, the old hood, fixed, right? Have the old hood fixed. See his face? And he's like, yeah, right. Okay, so the old hood, two things had happened to it. First off, Timothy and Cody had dropped the old hood, breaking it here. The roof to the dryer blew off and landed on the old hood here. This piece here, which sits right there, I've got a new one. I put a new one on a few years ago. This thing here is like almost $2,000 for this center, the hood center, right? You don't get this for $2,000. So basically what you get is a hood with these two screens here, those two louvers there, for $7,800 and some odd dollars. The decals were another $100 and some dollars, and you gotta put whatever you need to put off of your old hood onto here, which is those two pieces, which I'm perfectly fine with, by the way. I don't really have a problem with that, because this bezel was new a couple of years ago. That screen was new the same year that this bezel was new. Because I have a loader on this tractor, somebody had punched a bale through it, my father, and when he did that, he obviously took this out, and you could see that on there. So now I'm about to reveal this hood and why it was impossible for me or anybody else that had a hood like this to actually fix this hood. I know guys are, they're like, oh, you could take that to a body shop. Well, you can't. The reason you can't is because heat and plastic. It's not metal, it's plastic. So before I show you, here's a screen, one of the side screens. Did you see how easy that broke? How brittle that was? Like, really? Like freaking potato chips? This is one-handed. I'm not doing anything really. It's my hand. There it is, broken all to pieces. So they break to pieces. This crack had been here for many years. This crack is what they did when they dropped it. These cracks, this stuff, look at that. What am I going to fix? Tell me what I'm going to fix there. That broke off. Watch this, ready? I'm not even trying very hard. So, and the only reason it didn't break completely off is because there is a reinforced piece there. Yeah. Oh, look at that. See how easy that is? Potato chips. So I hope you're understanding what happened. Heat. This thing runs, I don't know how many hours are on this thing. 11,000 maybe?
I know I hit 9 or 10 in North Carolina the last year we were there.
It's got 10. I think it's more than that. Yeah, it's either 10 or 11,000 hours. Here's where your heat goes. Sucks air in, blows air back. Big fat engine under, on there. That's just a heat pump. It's heat. And when it's sunny out and hot, like 100 degrees out, and you're baling hay, these engine temps, they get up over 200 degrees, Yeah, it's like 180 degrees, but, the water pump is supposed to be at 180 degrees, but there's a lot of heat there. Even at 180 degrees, cranking all day long, that is why this hood is in the condition that it's in. This here was another one that had started from, we did not just do that. You could see that it's like that. But this thing is just, it's effed. Look at that. That just broke right out. So whoever had said that I was wasting my money spending almost $8,000 on a new hood, that's the reason why. This is junk. Nothing lasts forever. Plastic is like the worst. If this was metal, like the first 8000 series, like the 8100, 8200, 8300, 8400, I'm pretty certain that they were metal. They were tin. And then the 8110, and then they went to this in the 8120, the 20 series. Don't quote me, I may be wrong. I never owned one of those tractors, but I'm pretty certain that they were metal. Metal does not fatigue and break apart like that. Even though there is a subframe to this thing, you can see the subframe. Look at that. See how easy that is? It just breaks apart. The subframe is busted there. So, you know, I figure I have to, you know, explain this stuff for the simple reason that there are certain people in this world that would not put a dime into their tractor. You cannot run a tractor looking like this. It just will not work. There's air flows that air has to flow. Has to flow through those radiators, through that oil cooler, through that condenser, past it, and shed heat from that huge fan. It has to shed heat all the way back. Get rid of that heat. Heat is the killer of everything, if you didn't know. So that is why I bought a new hood. Yeah, I got over $7,000. With the decals, $7,900 in that hood. Now, here's another little tidbit of information. This tractor, I've seen these tractors. I think I paid $101,000 for this back in 2011. I could still sell this tractor once it's got the new hood on it. These are just oil weeps, you know, it's from the breather over there. There's a sensor that's got, you know, you clean it up. These have to be replaced. This one's shot. I'm going to replace both of those screens. This one here is missing. I saw one of these tractors with 8,900 hours. I think it was on machine repeat. They wanted $139,000 for it. No loader brackets or anything. It was just a regular row crop tractor. If I put new tires on the front, put that new hood on, did a little bit of work here, in here, the interior is fine, is good, but do just the touch-up work, I could even paint this stupid thing and probably get $110,000, $120,000 for this tractor. No issues. I'm not joking. So, I mean, there's a step that needs some work done to it. Loaders are hard on these things. But, yeah, clean it up. New tires on the front. Turn around and sell it if I wanted to. I don't want to. I like this tractor. I like it enough that I'm willing to spend $7,900 on a new hood. There is an issue with the roof up there. A bale of hay came down. The boys had busted it. I forget which one. I think it was Peyton. Peyton sent a bale into there and broke the beacon off and bent that rail there, which no big deal. I can take it off and straighten it. But yeah, so that's what it is. The roof up there, you know, so you put a new roof cap up. No big deal. But this is just ridiculous. Potato chips, man. Potato chips. You can't run like this. You can't operate like this. And if for some reason I was to die and my wife needed to sell these tractors, I would like her to get the maximum amount out of them. I'm not going to die anytime soon that I know of, but if it does happen, I would want her to get the maximum amount out of them. And that is not going to give you the maximum amount. People are very visual. If the tractor looks good, it'll bring a good price. Tractor looks like shit, it could be perfect, could be completely rebuilt, no paint, original, no paint, new paint, and it won't bring anything. But the nice shiny one that is a roached out piece of shit that they ran Central Tractor or Tractor Supply oil into, that, you know, was worn out at 9,000 hours, that'll bring the big bucks. I've seen it. There's a company down the road here that made a living. Many people made a living off of that company. All they did was buy roached out tractors, fix the minor stuff, give it a 30-day or 60-day warranty, respray it, new decals, new seat covers, new seat interiors and things like that. turn around and make $20,000, $30,000 on the tractor. Yeah, I might start doing that. I don't know, but I have a conscience. I can't rip people off, and that's one thing that I just feel really shitty about. If I was to buy a tractor that was not junk, but not in the best of shape, rebuild it up enough, you know, make it resaleable and sell it, and somebody, you know, some young kid, you know, gets a tractor he thinks is going to be perfect for the next 10 years of his life, and he gets out there and 31 days later it's got a rod sticking out the side of the block because the guy before me, the guy before he got it, was a Central Tractor oil fan, you know. Good enough oil sales, you know, good enough. Takes 1540 John Deere plus 50, but we'll put 1030 mobile synthetic gasoline engine oil in it. And there's people that do that. There's people that do that. My grandmother was one. 10W30 is perfectly fine, and wondered why the engines were wearing out, because diesel engine oil is different. So it has soot control, right? Isn't that what that has in it? Soot control additives? You don't remember? What the hell, you went to school and you don't remember? Jesus, Pete. I'm just a
oil like 6,000 different times.
Who, me?
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
There's enough different things in oil that...
Right. Oh, yeah. Like, what's the difference between 5W30 and 5W20?
The thickness, or how thick it is when it's hot.
Right. That is correct. The thickness, the viscosity of it when it's hot.
The lower the number, the more viscous.
Yeah. Right.
It's like there's the
yeah.
OW10s and 15s, that's essentially water.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So the higher the number, the thicker it is when it's hot. So, or the more viscous it is. It's kind of funny how they can go. So the low number is at cold, and the high number is at hot operating temperatures. But anyways, I'm going to shut up now, and we'll just go ahead and put this hood on here. I got a couple of things I need to address up there. There's a oil leak on the... Alrighty then, I'm back at the 4430, and what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be removing the pump shaft, the pump drive shaft. So these are kind of tricky. Let's see if I can get this thing set up here. I shouldn't say they're tricky, they're just a pain in the ass. So what you've got to do, and I've already loosened this bolt up here. So what you have to do is you kind of loosen that one up, and then you get under here, and if you can't get your thing in there, then you have to get a wrench, because there's not much room in here to loosen these up. As you can see, the radiator is out, and that the oil cooler is out. And I will show you the reason I took that out. Well, there's more than one reason I took it out, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. The reason I took it out was that I had foam. This is foam in here. There's supposed to be a foam mat that goes in here to protect the radiator from air coming up into the radiator. There's some stuff there. So if you look at this oil cooler, and it's just sitting here, this oil cooler, air conditioning cooler, you know, air conditioning, what do they call that, a condenser? As you can probably see, and I don't like it being there like that, but it is going to stay like that for now. It's plugged. You can't, I don't think you're going to see anything through it. So it's completely plugged up from oil and air coming through there. So what had happened, and you'll probably see, this is where the oil comes in, or comes out, or comes in, and this is where the oil comes out. Pumps in, comes out, goes down through there. The air conditioning condenser is on this side. So oil is here, air conditioner's over on this side here, oil, air conditioner, and you can see there's a break there. So this side is the oil cooler. If you have a leak anywhere here, whether it's the seal from the pump or this beautiful piece of stuff. So these are not high pressure lines, right? They're not. They're just, this is actually a pressure line, but it's not a high pressure line. This is a braided hose. It is hard as a rock. As you can see, it moves freely there. And this is the return. This is the return. This is where it, well, that's the bottom, this is the top. And this is hard as well. You can see that this has had leaks in it. I replaced this hose a while back, but not without it leaking onto that oil cooler. Now, this part here was open, so any of the dirt would come up in there and plug the radiator. So this is the radiator. As you can see, years of oil that is plugged up. So this has to be washed. It has to be washed. So this is the fan side, so it doesn't look like it's that bad, but watch how fuzzy it gets when I do this. See how it just kind of, it is plugged. It is plugged up bad. So this has to go through the pressure washer. I'm going to pressure wash it, soap it up, pressure wash it, and that's why it is out. There is no point me doing all the work to this tractor, getting it started, and allowing that radiator to look like that. So John Deere should have this foam, these foam pieces that go in here. If not, I'm just going to make them up like I did the last time. Just go get a foam mattress or something and stuff that in there so that the air comes from the side screens and stuff. Replace this hose and this hose. We will be replacing the hoses that go to this pump because I'm going to convert this over to the new style R134 or the Nippon Denso. I think this is a Delco. This could be a Nippon Denso compressor as well, but I think it's a Delco compressor. That's going to have to get fixed or replaced, completely replaced. But right now, I am working on the belts, these belts, and that's why I'm taking these off. So you can see that these belts were put on a long time ago. They're green. They should not be green, but they're green. Why are they green? I think they're green because I spray painted them when I put that engine in there way back however many years ago. But the new belts are here. I think you've already just seen that in a video, but whatever. Now, I've got these loose. Now I have to take the nuts off of there, top and bottom. But in order to do that properly, I actually have to turn the engine over. And I think I can do that with a bar, if I can get a bar in there and turn it. So you can watch me do that. You don't need to hear me talk all the time, right? Do you? Do you? Or do you like me talking? You guys like me talking? I bullshit a lot. But yeah, I should actually pull the fan off. It would probably make life a little bit easier. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll pull that fan off, then I can get in there a little bit. So hold on. Alright, fan is off. Put the bolts right there so I don't lose them. And I could probably, more than likely, get you guys to be able to, I don't think you need to see that. You need to see this. Right? Isn't that what we're looking at? Okay. So, if you see, like that. I'll have to get a star for that. Alright. Well, we can do this, right? Like this. I'm going to do this, right? Well, we know the engine turns over now, don't we? Damn it. That ain't working. You may or may not want to do it this way. I don't think it's going to hurt anything if you do it gently. But you can do this. Right? There it is. That one is loose. You see that? That's not a good thing. That's weird. So now, get that guy out. Okay. Did you see that? Huh? Fully threaded bolt, so you know. I don't think this is the first time there's been a pipe wrench on that, to be honest with you. Okay. Ah. Tim's gun is a little bit on the weak side. Okay. Moment of truth. What's she look like in there? Not bad. So a lot of times what happens is these bushings that are here, those bushings, they become worn out, and then it eats the aluminum away, and then they knock. If you hear these old 30 and 40, 50 series, 60 series tractors, they start knocking. That's because those bushings are out, and then you got to replace both sides of them. So this one here has got a little bit of play in it. There's supposed to be like this compression fit thing, but I don't know. Who knows? Then you can just pull that way, right off the pump. It's out of your way. And I'm gonna replace these. I think I have the new bushings. If not, I'm just gonna buy new ones. It takes 4 of them. You just cut the old ones off. You slip the new ones over the top. Takes a little bit of maybe a rubber mallet or something. You knock them on, and then when you squish them, oh shit, there's a wire there. They squish fast to those shafts, and you're good to go. So now I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 1/2 inch. I don't think it's a 9/16, but I'll take them both over there. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and loosen up the alternator, which is going to be a 1/2 inch, right? Yeah. A 1/2 inch here and 9/16. Oh, a 9/16 over there. You just loosen those up. And then you go under here and you give this guy here a little bit of a turn and slide that forward. And then you can just pop these guys right off. Alright, there they are. Yeah, so these are green stripe gates, green stripes. You can see how thin those belts have become. So they're junk. I'll hang them up in case there's a need for a spare. Water pump, always good to check the water pump for play and stuff. So these water pumps are really nothing. A rebuild kit, what it looks like is just a corn planter bearing, and you press the new one in, and you press this on, and then you press that in, and then you press the, I think you press the cast iron fins in there onto it. I got another pump over there. They're cheap enough to buy, rebuilt, so I've rebuilt them in the past, but this one's pretty free. I probably got rebuilt when there is zero play in that at all. That's good. Water pump lubricant is a joke. Don't even bother with it. It's basically just piss water. But yeah, there it is. So the next thing I'll have to do is actually pull that compressor off of there. Yeah. So I got a lot to do before Sunday, because Sunday is when we're going to fire this thing up. I've been told that I have to fire it up on Sunday. So Sunday it is, and we have to, but I have to pop these off of here, pull this pump out of here, this compressor. Probably just gonna, I think I'm just gonna replace the hoses from there back to here. The upstairs, I know I've got a new evaporator up there. The condenser is there. I don't need to do much with that. But being we're gonna be using this tractor on a tedder and other stuff in the summer for making hay, it'd be really nice to have that air conditioner cranking like it should with a new cab interior kit and just make it as comfortable as possible. It'll have a new set of new set of radial tires on the back and a new set of tires on the front, because these are just plain shot. They're dry rotted. I can probably put a tube in them if I want to, or patch the holes that are in them and deal with what I've got, but they're a mismatched set of tires. That tire is actually not that old. As a matter of fact, now that's a Carlisle. That tire's not that old. I can probably salvage that tire, put it where it needs to be, but by the time I get everything done, it'll be running without tires on it, that's for sure. You know, those back tires are going to be $2,000–$3,000 a piece, so by the time I'm done putting rubber on this tractor, I'm going to have $2,500 at least in the back end. So there's $5,000, and then $400 or $500 each for this. $6,000 in rubber on this tractor, and that should work. I'm gonna replace this step. It's shot. It got caught, and I'm just gonna pop it off and put a new one on. There's like $400 for that stupid step. So anyways, at least now you know how to take those things off and what it takes to do this. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and pop that one off of there. I don't need it on there. It's easy enough. There's some things that do need to be replaced. There's a little 3-prong pain in the ass there with a wire that's supposed to go in the center, and it's burned off. So that has to be dealt with. I have to deal with that, but whatever. I'll get it right. I'll get it right, because you know, if it ain't right, it ain't good. So we want it good, and it's got to be right to be good. So there you go. There it is, long and short of it.